traveling through all, you're right now on a 22-day American tour, kind of, where you're traveling these different indigenous communities. Can you tell us a little bit about like what sparked that and the places that you've been?
I must tell you this is in 2003. I was writing a book, so I went… somebody offered me a small cottage near the Center Hill Lake in Tennessee, near Cookville. So I was staying there and working on this, so one day I took out a walk into the forest and I just was walking. Well, different people may understand this in different ways, but I saw something, a kind of a frozen spirit just standing there in such a state of shame, pain, resentment of… this is someone who held another person, a more important person like a brother, but he could not protect him, he was killed. And he just stood there and froze as a spirit. And the level of shame and resentment and anger and a complex pain above all. I have to tell you, in my life, probably that's been the most painful moment in my life. I've never seen that kind of pain, that Indian spirits, the Native American spirit standing there like that. So then I wrote this poem and I did something with that force. Shall I read that poem to you?
Please. Yes, please.
It's
Please.
called America. The brooding darkness of these woods fed upon the native blood. In the twisted tangle of the fallen wood, the spirit of the fallen Indian stood. O brothers, your identity a mistake, those who oceans cross did make. The greed for gold and land laid waste the spirit of wisdom and grace. The children of those who by murder did take are taintless of their forefathers' mistake. But those who lived, fed upon the milk of courage and pride, stand as spirits of defeat and shame. O murdered and the murderous,
Wow.
embrace me, let me set your spirits to rest. So, this poem is kind of saying what happened there, but I'm telling you that was the most painful moment in my life. And on that day I decided I should know more about what happened. And as I explored this, I realized that this region in Tennessee was called as Trail of Tears, and we were looking for a land to set up our center, and we set it up right there at the beginning of Trail of Tears. So where I've spoken about this in the past, it may be somewhere on the YouTube. I said, it is not the beauty of the place which drew me there, it is the pain of that place which drew me there, because my work, my life is to see that people can live without this pain. My entire life is just about this, that if a human being is willing, he can be beyond suffering. There are ways to do that to oneself. Only when people are beyond suffering and they know the joy of being beyond suffering, will they walk full stride, because there is no fear of suffering. And only when there is no pain and suffering in you, you will not cause that to other people. You know the value of being happy, you know the value of being joyful and peaceful. This is very, very important for every human being. People keep asking me, Sadhguru, what is the solution for this problem, that problem? I say, the problem is just this, everybody is in pursuit of happiness. They are not happy, they're in pursuit of happiness. If they were only joyful by their own nature, just look at every human being, look at yourselves, I'm saying. In a moment when you're very happy, you are a wonderful human being. The moment you're unhappy, you're capable of being a nasty human being. This is true for every human being, isn't it?
Definitely. You know, I
So, it is that moment in 2003 that got me interested. Since then, I've been trying to look at, different aspects. I had no clue there were 500 nations, okay? In our minds, we think Native American means Native American. Okay, we heard a few names of Apache, Sioux, this, that, like this, maybe 4, 5 names. Rest of it, simply it's not there. I'm saying even with people who are well-traveled, well-read, even with them, nobody knows about this. Only now, in the last few months since I've been wanting to do this trip, I've been looking at this, please. I've been looking at this and I'm amazed at the level of, where we've been to Cahokia, we are going to the Chaco Valley. It's amazing as to how much has happened and from 40,000 years. That's not a… 40 millennia is not a joke.
Yeah.
You can't obliterate a culture like that.
You know what? Unfortunately,